Hello, my dear friends. Hope you all be fine and doing well. Thank you so much for joining me again. Thank you so much for joining in your channel. My dear friends, this video is the fifth video of Scotch Gambit. So in this video, I am showing you if your opponent plays different lines, different variations, how you should react. So my dear friends, if I tell you that Scotch Gambit is one of the most well-known opening and you can play with any levels of chess players and you can win chess easily, you should believe that, and I'm 100% assured when you are playing online or offline, if you go this opening, majority of your opponent will play against you the same way. So this is a Scotch Gambit starting like this, opening pushing the pawn into e4. In the previous videos I already told you how it's happening, and in here also I'm telling you, but this video is completely different because in this video I'm telling you the another lines if your opponent plays. So you are pushing the pawn into d4, so your opponent is taking simply, so the best move in here is placing your bishop into c4. So now this is called the Scotch Gambit. So this opening if you play, so the majority of your opponent will do the same thing. So in the previous videos I told you that if your opponent takes the bishop into b4 and c5, so how would you do that? So if he decides to go another line, so this line, so if your opponent decides to go this line, so the best move in here for white pieces is to pushing the pawn into a5. So this is the best move in here. So in here the best move for black pieces is to push the pawn into d5, and simply you can place your bishop into b5. So before telling about these variations, let me tell you that if your opponent is doing another thing, for example, your opponent has this option to take the queen into e7. Now he is pinned your pawn. So in such a situation, it is very good, you should go simply small castle. When you are going castle, your opponent cannot take your pawn because you are taking back with your knight. When he takes, so you have this brilliant pinning the queen. So I'm showing you another position, my dear friends. For example, if you are pushing the pawn in the same way, so you have different levels and different variations you can play against your opponent. So for example, if your opponent comes here, so you have this brilliant move. So in here, for example, your opponent's taking the knight in here. So the best move in such a situation is to place your queen into e2. This is a very fantastic move. In such a situation, your opponent has two options. For example, he can go here. So definitely if he goes here, so it is not a bad idea. So you have a very good options, and this is not a bad position for you if he goes like that. And if he decides to give a check for you, so the best move in here is to go king into d1. So when you are going here, so your opponent is losing one piece. So for example, this knight is under attack with your queen, he is taking back the knight. So in here you have the best move, and that is attacking to the bishop. So there is only one way for bishop here. So you can push the pawn, but in it before that you have this fantastic check by your bishop. So when you are giving this check, your opponent definitely covers this check with knight. So now you have this brilliant attack, and you are taking one of the pieces in here. So your opponent lost the pieces. So in here you have, so this castle you have, and also you have this option. So this is the winning position for white pieces. My dear friends, in here you see this is another line that your opponent with black pieces can play against you. So this is another variations, and this is another lines for Scotch Gambit. So the best move in here is pushing the pawn to a5. So this is the best move in here for white pieces. For example, if your opponent plays the best move, especially the best move and the main line to play against Scotch Gambit is pushing the pawn into d5. So when your opponent pushing the pawn to d5, so you have the base move, and that is going to b5, simply your bishop. So in such a situation, when you go to the b5, so your opponent placing his knight in the base place, and that is e4. So now you have this option to take the pawn, and this is very good option. So your opponent cannot take because it's pinned. So now the common move here is to pushing the bishop into d7. So in here, remember my dear friends, you have to take the knight because the knight is taking the pawn for free, and so you are not able to take it because it's taking back with his knight. So it's not a good idea, so you have to replace it. So how you are taking it, with bishop or with knight? So the best move in here, my dear friends, is to take by your bishop. For example, if you take this knight with your knight, so when he is taking with the pawn, so he is attacking your bishop. So you should not allow your opponent, and you should not lose your time. You should take your submission. So in here your opponent is taking by pawn. So in such a situation, so now you have the best move, and you should push the pawn into d if f4. So if you are pushing the f4, so it is easy, directly you can push it here, but I'm suggesting you should not lose the time, and also you should do it very logically, and you should think it clearly. So the best move in here is to pushing the pawn simply into f3. So when you are pushing the pawn into f3, so your opponent is going back to g5. When he goes there, so you have the best move and pushing the pawn into f4. So now your opponent is coming back to a4. So what is the difference between this move and in the beginning? Because we pushed 2 steps, now it's our turn. It means that we did this on time without moving. Now we have another move. So the best move in here is to replace your knight, because your opponent knight is very good place. So especially he is taking, so you should take it back with your bishop. So in here your opponent pushing the pawn into c5, threatening your knight. So what do you think, my dear friends? What would be the best move in here and the best square for your knight? So you can go to f3, but I'm suggesting you it is the best option to go to e2, because it is better for future. So when you are going here, so your opponent simply taking the bishop into e7, because he want to go castle. So you should go castle, and your opponent is going to castle. So in here, this is the best line for your opponent, the best line for black pieces. At least from the 3-4 videos I told you that if your opponent is not playing in a better way, how would and how many problems he will face. So I showed you everything, but this one is the best move and the best position black can play against you, and black can have it. This is the best one. So in here also, when your opponent playing in this intelligence and he is playing very well with you, so still you have a little bit good chances. You don't have that much good chance that you should win completely 100%, but you will have slightly better positions in here, and it happens when you push the pawn into f5. So now you are slightly better in such a positions over your opponent. So in here black is also in a good positions, but I am suggesting black that he should move carefully, because in such a positions he has the chances of losing the game a lot. So this is another line. So thank you so much, my dear friends. Please share the video with your friends and subscribe to the channel.